Good morning, everybody. Heading home today. It's been such a great experience, and I got a lot to report, so stay tuned. So, I thought I'd start us out with a reminder about what it was like on move in day and unpacking day. We basically just had every surface in the house covered with stuff. And then we spent the next, 4 or 5 days making sense out of that. But it was all worth it. Look at this beautiful kitchen. So we're going to give you a little overview here at first, but then I'll take you through and show you all the cabinets and drawers that we organized. There's several things that we did that I just didn't have a chance to post about. One of them is this bar area. My client had this at the other house, and we had worked on it there a little bit, so that was able to just kind of translate in, and of course it'll get populated with wine and whatever she's going to put in there. Here's one more look at our beautiful new pantry. Of course, there's really not very much food in here because she just moved in, and we do have those last two little gadgets that are coming that's going to hold the baggies and the foil and the saran wrap, but everything else is really looking good and in place. And she is a great cook, loves to cook, and so there's going to be plenty of food in here, but we've left enough space that she should be fine. She really likes the bin system, and they're mostly empty, so she'll have room to grow in that. And then we added this over the door rack, which is amazing for cooks because you can just lift each of those baskets off and take it over to where you're working, like if you're doing baking or maybe Italian or Asian cuisine, it can all be in that one little basket. So now let's take a look inside the cabinets and drawers. So we have a little coffee station here, and then of course up high are things that she just doesn't really use at all, but contained and easy to get down if she needed them. And of course we're missing a drawer, so the contractor will be putting that in, but we'll spread out cookie sheets and muffin pans and things like that down there. But I love how it turned out to be a pretty display when the doors open. And then under the kitchen sink in that island, we've got food storage, kitchen linens, and I love it when the space works out under sinks to be able to put the freestanding drawer units, because that really adds so much space and helps you utilize that vertical space. And of course we've got her flatware and all the things that she would use immediately there, prepping by the sink. And then on the cooking side of the kitchen, we have everything set up for cooking. So we have prep, we have bakeware, we have cookware, and the drawers are just set up so nicely for her to have easy access to everything. There's not a lot of drawers, so we ended up needing to put the utensils up on the countertop, which just didn't really have a choice about that, but it works okay. And then the spice drawer is one of the first things I'm going to tell you about of things that just didn't get done. And I'm going to do a video about that next. That'll actually be the last video in the series because there's quite a few things that we started and didn't get to finish, or we just didn't even get to start. And then of course, as we've shown you a couple of times, our wonderful little butler's pantry that was just a little hall closet to begin with. And the laundry room is definitely still a work in progress. We'll come back to that in that last video, as I mentioned, but she did change out the washer and dryer. This white set came with the house, but she had this brown set that she moved down here and preferred. So that changed, and then of course we just tidied up a little bit and put only things that had to do with the laundry room in the laundry room. And there's an adjacent under the stairs closet right next to that, and she has a lot of things that she hangs to dry, but there's obviously no room in the laundry room, so she's using this garment rack inside the closet to be able to dry clothes. So we're not going to put anything else in that area because it's just going to be full. I actually have a video on understairs closets because they can be great storage, and I'll post a link to that in the description below so you can check that out. So not only does my client love to cook, but she loves to entertain. And one of the spaces that I haven't showed you yet is this really nice outdoor patio. And this green armoire was something that we had in the other house in her bedroom. And honestly, it worked out beautifully both places. It was a closet that we used for all of her travel accessories because she used to travel a lot. and we reused those bins, you know, elsewhere in this house. But now we've put it outside, and she's putting things that she would use to entertain only outside with, and it's worked out really well. The garage is definitely not done. Like, it's a whole project all by itself, and I'll talk more about that in that last video. There's some plans that we have, and just show you some ideas that if I had the time, what we would have done. So another thing we haven't looked at is bathrooms. So you'll remember that the casita is set up to be a short-term rental. And so somebody that would be staying there needs bathroom space that they could really unpack and maybe for 6 months be at home. And so it's important that we add storage. And we were lucky enough that under the sink, the pipes worked out so that we could put this nice Elfa drawer unit. It's so great to utilize that vertical space, and it gives them drawers that they can access. Another wonderful thing about having your home organized before you move is that you already have organizing product. So in the old house, we used these wonderful chrome cupboard shelves a lot in the kitchen, and we didn't really need them as much here in this kitchen, so they were a wonderful resource to use under the sinks. So you can see in the casita we did that, and then this is a guest bathroom downstairs. Also, there's a guest bathroom upstairs. Both of these spaces are hardly ever going to be used, and we just didn't feel like it was important to do anything fancy and spend a lot of money, so the fact that we already had these cupboard shelves made just perfect organization in that spot. In the master bathroom, we used the same approach, just trying to use things that my client already owned, and it worked out great. So we set up the drawers with our categories. You know, there's hair and washcloths. And then this is set up only really just to get the dividers in there, and she's going to kind of make that her own as she, you know, gets settled the next couple of days. And now for the primary bedroom. So this was a mess for a while. You can remember the move-in day and all the boxes. It was a lot to unpack for the clothes, and as I told you before, we took a little bit of time to do some editing, which was really helpful and a good idea. So you can see this is a little bit of progress each day over the week. There's the bathroom cleared out, and beginning working on the closet. Got all our categories, purses and hanging clothes and folded clothes. And then it finally came together on the very last day. So this is also going to be in our things that didn't get finished category, because this closet just really is not set up very well. And honestly, it just needs to be completely redone with a new closet system. But that's not going to be anytime soon. So we're making the best that we can with what we've got. But it still works great. I mean, there's not going to be anything that's going to keep her from, you know, finding what she needs and being comfortable in there. And also we have this nice little linen closet that we made into overflow from the bathroom, because obviously there's not a lot of bathroom storage. And so this is going to be a nice place for her to keep her surplus, things like that. So I'm pleased with what we did on the closet, and it's going to be even better when it's switched out to a new system. And there you are. A week of move-in. So obviously some things didn't get done, and so as I mentioned, I'm going to do one more video where I show you some things in progress. Just to give you a little idea, here's some things that were left over from the dining room, and of course we didn't have any shoes in that primary closet, in case you didn't notice, so we've got to take care of that. And then there's some just little small areas in the house that didn't get done, but we do have plans for them. And besides those spaces, I wanted to just share some insights about what it was like organizing for somebody out of town. It was definitely different, and it had its own set of challenges. And if you're an organizer, you may find that interesting. So thanks again for watching and sticking with me through all these episodes. It's been really fun for me to do, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Saying goodbye to the mountains? I'm heading home. It was a great experience, and I'm really thankful and appreciative of that. But I'm also glad to be going home, so I'll have more to report later. Bye. TSA flagged my label maker as potentially dangerous.